Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Two news stories for you. Firstly, viewers, that in November last year, Eritrea detained three Azerbaijani ships. Since then, negotiations have been ongoing for the release of three ships, and it was being rumored that the three ships were carrying weapons for Ethiopia. It seems that the ship crew members have been released. Second words, Al-Sisi, Abdul Fattah Al-Sisi, Egyptian president, met with Eritrean Foreign Minister Usman Saleh. Usman Saleh delivered a message from Isas Afwerki, Eritrean president, to Egyptian president. After that, Egyptian president office issued a statement which seems to be a very strong message for Ethiopia. Why is Egypt reiterating its position that Ethiopia has no role? It should not have any role in governing the Red Sea. Why is Ethiopia pushing for access to Red Sea, not to Hobyo port? What is happening behind the scenes? Let's start. Firstly, Eritrea. It was November, 7th of November last year, when three Azerbaijani ships were taken into custody by Eritrean forces. The three ships were on their way towards the UAE, according to some officials. They left Azerbaijan and they were on their way towards UAE. But when they were close to Eritrean territorial waters, weather conditions worsened. They had to enter Eritrean territorial waters. Once they entered Eritrean territorial waters, Eritrean Navy captured them. Crew members were arrested. They were taken into custody. Ships were also seized by Eritrean authorities. Then we saw start of negotiations between Azerbaijan and Eritrea. Turkey played a role in these negotiations. Turkish embassy in Ethiopia, Eritrean embassy in Turkey were involved. Negotiations went on since November till today. Never in the last 4 months, Eritrea or Azerbaijan officially confirmed what the three ships were carrying. No one said a word about it officially, though some sources claim that the ships were carrying weapons for Ethiopia. That Ethiopian leaders visited Azerbaijan, they signed a weapon purchase deal with Azerbaijani side. After that, Azerbaijan dispatched this shipment, but to the bad luck of Ethiopia, the ships faced bad weather and they had to enter Eritrean territorial waters where they were captured. Eritrean authorities investigated what the ships were carrying and for which country, which party. They came to know that the ships were carrying weapons for Ethiopia. This is what is being reported by several sources, but again, official confirmation is missing. As said earlier, neither Eritrea nor Azerbaijan said anything about what ships were carrying. Today, Azerbaijani government confirmed that crew members of the three ships have been released. 18 crew members were there at three ships. They have been released by Eritrean authorities. Turkish embassy, Turkish officials played an important part in the release, and Azerbaijani side thanked Turkey for securing the release of Azerbaijani nationals. What were the three ships? Have the ships been released or not? Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Azerbaijan did not say a word about the ships. Have they been released or are they still being held by Eritrean authorities. If the ships have been released with all the items they were carrying, it means that only propaganda was spread about the ships that they were carrying weapons. If the ships have not been released and they're still being held by Eritrean authorities, it means something is wrong at the bottom. And the reports about the ships carrying weapons by Ethiopia could be true. But again, what I'm saying is that official confirmation is missing. So we need to wait for official confirmation about what the ships were carrying. But Azerbaijan has confirmed that 18 crew members have been released by Eritrean authorities. Secondly, viewers, Egyptian President Abdul Fattah al-Sisi spoke about his office issued a statement after he received a message from Isaias Afwerki, Eritrean president. Usman Saleh, Eritrean Minister of Foreign Affairs, met with his Egyptian counterpart yesterday, and today he met with Abdul Fattah al-Sisi, Egyptian president. And after the Egyptian president office issued a statement. The statement is very meaningful, by the way. Egyptian presidency says that only Red Sea countries have the right to govern the Red Sea. Non-littoral countries have no right whatsoever to govern the Red Sea. Their presence on the Red Sea is unacceptable. What does it mean? Well, the message is very clear from Egypt. It's for Ethiopia that Ethiopia gaining access to the Red Sea is unacceptable for Egypt. Egypt won't let it happen. Ethiopia is in talks with Somalia. Second round of talks, I think, starting soon. Ethiopia won't see access through Somalia. By sea access, it does not mean port use. It wants full rights on a port, on the corridor leading to the port, etc. And some say it wants to establish a naval base too. This is what it wanted through Somaliland, but Somaliland, Ethiopia, you could not be implemented. Somalia is getting close to Ethiopia these days because Ethiopian troops are protecting Somalia's government, Al-Shabaab on the offensive. Ethiopian troops fighting on front lines, Ethiopian planes conducting airstrikes. So Somalia needs Ethiopia. Egypt fears, Eritrea fears through that, Ethiopia could gain access to sea through Somalia close to the Gulf of Aden. We heard a few weeks ago that Somalia was offering Hobyo port to Ethiopia, which is on Indian Ocean. It's not close to Red Sea, it's on Indian Ocean. It seems that Ethiopia wants more than just Hobyo port. It wants access to sea somewhere close to Gulf of Aden. That is why Egypt is issuing statements. Eritrea is backing the statement, saying that Ethiopian presence at the Red Sea is unacceptable. Either Ethiopia pushing, asking Somalia to give access to Ethiopia close to Gulf of Aden, or for Egypt and Eritrea, Ethiopian access to the Hobyo port is also unacceptable. And Egypt and Eritrea are now taking a stronger position. They have been opposing military access to sea for Ethiopia in recent months. Now they are saying no role in governance. It means they don't want any port on the Red Sea to be under Ethiopian control in terms of governance too. Which is alarming. It means that it is going to be difficult and challenging for Ethiopia to gain access to Somalia, because Egypt, Somalia's ally, Eritrea, Somalia's allies, both are sending a message to both Somalia and Ethiopia that they won't let Ethiopia gain access to sea, especially close to the Gulf of Aden. Now, a lot depends on Hassan Sheikh government. What is it offering to Ethiopia? And where exactly will Ethiopia get access to Somalia? But Egypt and Eritrea, they are saying the same thing again and again, that presence of Ethiopia on the Red Sea is unacceptable. Take for watching.